LatinxinGaming. We are live. Welcome back, psychic unicorns, dice dragons, queer witches, and pirates of the stars. As I'm really leaning into that lately. It's a thing that I've had as my title forever. I like it so much, I'm gonna lean into it. Welcome back, everybody. I am Essie or Eryn Spencer. My pronouns are she, they, and I will be your hostess and facilitator for the evening. And today I am joined by the incredible dEMonAngeLclone at Emi. I'm going to read your intro real quick. One of the original founders of the Athena Alliance CLT, Emi has come onto the local gaming scene to provide opportunities for women to have their voices heard and to provide a safe space for women in and outside of the gaming industry. Residing in Rock Hill, South Carolina, she formed the all-women stream team called the Gaming Goddesses, and since 2019 has coordinated public and digital gaming events, charity fundraisers, and held esports events for women, as well as becoming a Women in Games ambassador for the Southeastern United States of America, as much of a crisis as we are in right now. That is awesome. She enjoys game nights featuring trivia, RPGs, and, of course, Uno, no you. She is an alum of the University of South Carolina, Lancaster, with a degree in sciences and has been featured on Fox46 Charlotte. I didn't know that. That's freaking awesome. Good Morning Charlotte, LatinxinGaming, CallMeJaneBond, Pikara magazine, and the Triad City Beat for community work in games. Emi, dEMonAngeLclone, welcome to the show. I'm very happy to have you on. This is my happy place. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
I'm very excited to really be diving back into the realm of podcasting and talk shows. This is how we got our start. I said it last time when we did our first official episode back after a multi-year hiatus with Dicey Mango for hashtag 033, and now we're on hashtag 034 with you, and I'm very happy to have you here. So I know that was a little that was kind of like your big intro, but whatever you want to do as far as elaboration on that or anything else that you want to tell the audience in your own words, take it away.
Oh my goodness. No, I think you covered pretty much all of it. With some slight exceptions. So the Athena Alliance CLT is now going to be known as Athena CLT Plus because it is now a nonprofit. And I am the president of that nonprofit. So it's a really exciting time. We don't just serve women, we serve women and non binary members, both femme presenting and mask presenting as well. Honestly, a great time. And then, of course, I am in the second year of working on a little convention I call VillainSCon. So I am the lead director on that. And yeah, it's been a pretty wild time.
You've certainly got your hands full. You are very busy. So, Madam President, Madam Director, that has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? What does transitioning the Athena Alliance CLT into the Athena Alliance CLT Plus as an official NPO mean for you? Mean to you and for you?
This has been 5 years in the works, and when we started doing things as an organization, we did our research and asked questions, like what would this look like as a nonprofit, and like where do we, go, and like how do we do the things. And we used to have like Wednesday sessions in the server of just talking to different people and getting our bylaws together. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to be something that happens? And I reached out in one of the nonprofit networking groups, and a very kind and wonderful lawyer reached back out and was like, you know what, I want to help you with your cause. Like, I believe in your mission. I believe in what you're doing. We're going to make it happen. And just true to her word, it happened this year. So it really means a lot. It means that we can possibly do a lot more to help others. And that's always been the goal. So I'm really excited. With that, we've also been getting new opportunities. So this coming weekend, we're going to be at the 32nd annual Huntersville Ren Fair in North Carolina. We were invited to join all of the other wonderful gaming organizations that are going to be out there. So that's pretty exciting. We've been to PAX East and West this year. We met at PAX East. So it's
Yes, we
just
did.
it's an exciting time.
Tell me again where you're going to be this weekend so I can pull it up on the screen and we'll pop it up and so people can get a little teaser.
Yeah, so it's the Renaissance Festival, the 32nd annual Renaissance Festival in Huntersville. And our gaming tent is going to be basically right in the front. So if you are going to happen to be there, definitely say hi to the goddesses. They will be there in full force, and I'm just like really, really, excited that we're getting like opportunities like this.
And we have it up on the screen for anyone that wants to take a peek.
Yeah,
Very
the
cool.
Wizards and Rebels. Yes. It's really, really exciting. I think if you click on like the organizations, like our organization is up there, and I'm like,
Oh,
woo.
okay. All right.
I'm like, yay.
Home tickets, plan your visit, shows, shop, play, feast, events, learn more, see more, employment, fundraising, sponsorships, and change the language to Espanol. Where would it be up in the options?
So there's actually a link in the chat for ESP. And if you go to it and just scroll down a little bit, Athena Alliance CLT is right there.
Oh hell
So
yeah! Where did you post it? I'll pull it up right now. Wizards and Revel. Oh yep. Okay. Amazing. Oh, and there you
yeah.
are. There you are. Look at
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, like it's super exciting, and shout out to Griffin Heart and Mythic Con, for supporting us and inviting us into the inner circle. It's like we're a part of the inner circle now. It's great.
And
Hmm.
there you are. All right. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So if you're in, so they can go and check out the Ren Fair and stop by. Now, are you gonna have like a booth, or a
yeah,
table, or
we're gonna have a setup. So because of weather, we're gonna have a
yeah.
tent, table, and if you want to come and play games with us, we're gonna have plenty of games, just information about like our organization, and it's going to be a lot of fun for sure.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, and that is in the chat as well. Carolina Renaissance Festival, Saturdays and Sundays, October 4th through November 23rd. Free parking as well, which is always plus 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Rain or shine. No pets, please. Bummer, but understandable.
That is a bummer.
16, 16445 Poplar Tent Road in Huntersville, North Carolina. Check it out.
Hmm.
All right. So views minimize Google window, and yeah. All right. Well, that's really cool. We didn't even talk about that yesterday when we did the pre-show chat.
Yeah, no,
But that's
like
fantastic.
I'm telling you, there's just a lot that's been going on. I've been invited to different conventions. I got a call the other day, and it was like, "Do you want to go to Milltown Con?" And I'm like, "But
Oh my
that's
god, hell
before
yeah.
Villains Con." And they were like,
Ah, okay. Is
they
it
were
too
like,
close before VillainSCon?
"Ah,
Too much overlap?
it's close. It's
Yeah,
close."
I
And
get
I'm
it.
like,
I get it.
I was like, I don't know. I mean, I was like, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it's close.
It's gonna be a tight window. No, I understand that for
Yes.
sure. But that's actually a really good segue. So as far as the Athena Alliance CLT Plus and having all this presence at being invited to all these cons, being at the Carolina Renaissance Festival, let's just rewind a little bit and tell me and tell everybody here about how the Athena Alliance CLT got its start. That's one of the things we talked about yesterday. It's a really cool story. So like, take it away.
Okay, so essentially, I was working for Fortune 250
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
logistics, and I I got really bored with doing that. It was
It
like I
sounds
need to
yeah.
find other things to do,
It does sound
and
just the description of the job description, the title alone,
yeah,
brought tears to my eyes. So bless you for
yeah.
doing it for that long, or
Yeah,
however long you did it.
I was doing at that time, I want to say, the inland rails.
Mm-hmm.
So I was I started off with Chicago 59, and then I also did all of Ohio. So that's
Okay.
Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus. So I was handling all of those shipments. And
So
I was
not
just,
necessarily where you want it to be, but still a pretty kind of a sounds like an important job.
it was definitely an important
Yeah.
job.
I get
But
that. Yeah.
it was just something that, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there were definitely times where I could honestly say like, oh, I love what I'm doing, I
Oh,
love
sure. Okay.
being
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
here. But I did get, once I started learning the ways and cleaning situations up and everything, I ended up getting bored, and I was like, what is going on in my local community? And then
Right. The
um
desire
one of
for
the
more.
people, the desire for
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
exactly. And then one of the people that I went to high school with, she posted on Facebook like, does anyone want to go to a women's game night? And I was like, that sounds really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I went. That's when I discovered that gaming organizations were a thing. I had no idea that they were at
Mm-hmm.
that time. They pulled me aside at the end of the night. They pulled me and her aside, and they were like, oh, well, we want to do this again, and we would appreciate your feedback. And if you're willing to help, then, we'll, go ahead and consult you while we continue to do these. And it was a gaming org named Koyobi Gaming. And I
Okay.
was like, oh, okay, that's, really cool. And, I helped them for their PlayStation event. I helped them for their
Mm-hmm.
Halloween event. And, like it was a good few months. And then they had some like infighting that was going on due to money. And so they kind of dispersed and didn't like continue to do events after that. And I was just like, man, that really sucks, because like, I was starting to get into a rhythm and really liking
Yeah.
what was going on. And then I was like, okay, well, what I'll do is, and I looked at the person that I was going to these game nights with, and I was like, we could probably do the same thing, but instead of it just being just for women, it's also by women. And that's where the Athena Alliance CLT was born. CLT being the international code for Charlotte, North Carolina. And again, I was in logistics at that time, so see, like that's what made sense to me to kind of like make our stake that we were in Charlotte. We found out later on there was another Athena Alliance organization, but they deal with board members. And so we just didn't want to run into the risk of being confused with them. So that's
Okay.
where it became Athena Alliance CLT.
Yeah, because just
Later,
in a quick cursory search, I did type in Athena Alliance on Twitter, I think, and I found another group, and I was like, oh, and I looked at it, and it was a. So I know what you mean there. Also, real quick sidebar, I I didn't even ask, but in my mind, CLT, I thought that was in my mind a nonprofit designation for limited company, like the LT for limited and the C for
oh,
company. This is no weird. Like I never even
yeah.
bothered to ask, but it's specific to your to the local region, which is cool.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
like if
Okay.
you were to like look up your like local
Learning business
airport,
codes.
yeah, like
Business
it's,
coding.
CLT is the code for
Okay.
Charlotte Douglas.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what it means. It just means like, Charlotte, North Carolina. And of course, Charlotte, North Carolina is also known as the Queen City.
Okay.
So, we were wanting to be like, yeah, we're the women gamers representing the
Yeah.
Queen City. Like, this is perfect. And then, it's funny because at that time, neither one of us were based in Charlotte, but like that's where everything began. So that's why we just kind of kept it in our name.
Would you say that
So,
Charlotte
like,
has how is were there a lot of women's groups in Charlotte? A lot of gaming groups? Anything? Or was that how is the scene there for media, gaming, that type of thing in general?
okay,
I know you're
so,
adding to
so
it, but like before you stepped in to do your thing, how was it?
right. So in terms of, I'm gonna stick to gaming alone
Okay.
because media is a different story.
A whole different animal,
But
yeah.
for gaming, definitely a lot of people, a lot of orgs, a lot of businesses in the Charlotte scene. Like that is like bar none, like Charlotte has a very prevalent scene. I would say like if you're thinking about it as a region, like the region is like Charlotte, Greensboro, Greenville. You're gonna see like a lot of gamers. You know, Mr. Beast is from
Holy
from
shit,
this
really?
region. Yeah,
It's
he's a
fucking
North
wild.
Carolinian. Greenville, North Carolina. So in terms of like the scene when it comes to gaming, definitely a lot of gamers. Now at that time there were no specific groups that were for women, and then even less that were like it had like a women built team. There was
Right.
like a couple of entities that were, but then they would kind of phase out.
Mm.
So I would say at this point we are the longest running of
Wow.
that type
Okay.
here because we started November 3rd of 2019.
And you started with only 38 women locally.
Yeah, it was just people we knew, friends, you know, and it wasn't even Athena Alliance back then. It was Venus level gamers back then. And the reason why we chose Athena is because when the women game nights were happening, they were called Valkyrie nights,
Okay.
you know, the angels of death.
Hmm.
So we wanted to kind of play upon that theme.
Yeah.
And you know, we were like looking at different goddesses, and Athena particularly like was one that we were kind of like, this makes sense because I was the strategist. The other co-founder was the more artistic one. And knowing like Athena's story, that is kind of like those are the two things that particularly she represents.
Hmm.
So it was like, okay, like this is what, you know, this is a good, this like feels good. And
Yeah.
then in terms of the alliance part, from the beginning, we wanted it to be to where anyone could come into the organization and feel comfortable with us. That was always from the beginning. One of our main pillars from the beginning was safety. So, you know, whenever we said we were doing events, we always promised like these are safe events. You can come, and we vet everyone who's around. And if something happens that is not unsafe, like we would rectify
Mm.
it immediately, that sort of thing. So those were the things that we wanted to like have as like a representation in from the very beginning.
And you grew from 38 to put a capstone on sort of the story up until now, the story so far. You started with 38, and with a little hard work and determination and the right drive, you are now at how many members?
Oh my goodness. So the number definitely fluctuates, but I would say like when we had our boom
Hmm.
May of
During
the
the Backstreet
year
Boys reunion
of
tour.
yes. But this was actually during the year COVID happened,
Hmm.
and in May we went up to about 500 members, and
38 to
then
500.
you know, like now we're, you know, we're sitting at a pretty decent number, and I kind of love that, you know, we have people that have been with the org since it pretty much began, that they're still they still remained with us all this time. So it just makes me feel good.
Yeah, and in 2023, you expanded to include to be a women and non-binary group. I have
That's
that
right.
correct. Yep. Which I definitely appreciate as someone sort of on both sides of the fence. You know, I call myself, and I usually would describe. I was talking to another friend, one of our other moderators in ESP, about gender and identity a little bit earlier today, just in a casual conversation. I was like, yeah, like where I'm at is sort of like I identify as like a non-binary lesbian and a woman at the same time, right? So because I like to fuck around with gender, I like to wear suits and ties sometimes, you're right, but like, you know, as a woman I can flex a little bit, you know. It's the butch lesbian look a little bit, but I also like to integrate a little gender fuckery in there as well, with like the suits and the badass, the bad bitch drip a little bit.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate that as well, and I'm sure all of your members also. But
Yeah, because it was all about having women
yeah,
empowerment. And so just all of those things combined is kind of what made us.
now what are some things that y'all have going on in the Athena Alliance that people can get excited about? So like, what's sort of like a day in the life of a community member in the Athena Alliance? Like, what do you have? Weekly events? Do you have monthly events? I know you have the different. It's Zeldin. Hey, Zeldin.
Hi,
Zeldin
Sylvie.
from also one of the goddesses, I believe, still one of the goddesses in your channel. Yep, goddess of fairies. If you still have that title, welcome in, and also one of our co-hosts on our PAX East podcast stream here as well. But yeah, so a day in the life, a day or a week in the life of a member of the Athena Alliance, whether it's a Discord, and you don't have to limit it to the Discord. You can talk about like again the conventions and all that good stuff. So what is the vibe for someone joining the Athena Alliance?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, it's so funny Zeldin came in. I feel like Zeldin would be the better person to ask. But I think it's just understanding there's going to
Shout
be
out
like
to.
a little bit of chaos, a bit of structure,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of conversation. And the thing is that we do have sometimes we have spontaneous game nights where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, we just go into the server, we're playing whatever, and people will come in and we'll chat. We do talk back Thursdays every week, so that is a way of us keeping connected, even if it's not necessarily through gaming. It's just a way of knowing, like, hey, there's going to be someone around. If you want to bounce ideas off of them, if you want to network, if you want to vent, if you want to, say something positive that happened
Sure.
or is happening in your life, that's what that's for.
So would you say it's kind of
Zeldin
like an
was
open forum for discussion, kind of like a tavern talk or something like
absolutely.
that? Okay. Yep.
We never really like hold back or have like any of our members really hold
Yeah.
back. Like if they feel the
Love it.
need to express something, they absolutely can. We only ask that you respect yourself as well as others in the space.
Mm-hmm.
And we have things in place to make sure that it does remain a safe space.
And
Yeah.
what about community game nights? I know that's sort of been, that subject has been broached a couple times, but I've never actually been a part of one. Do you have like weekly or monthly community game nights? And if so, ping me the next time. If I miss it, ping me so I can try to get in on it.
I will definitely ping you. We try to, so now we try to do them monthly. I used to
Monthly, okay.
lead weekly
It's a
music
lot.
bingos because I make like the video, and I get really intense with it, and then my themes or are always something that I want people to guess at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I go a little hardcore with music bingo. So I had to dial back a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna dial back a little bit. So we
All
do
right.
do monthly game nights, and it'll be things like party games like Jackbox or Among Us or Dead by Daylight. Like we do something, different, but also something that's accessible for different
Sure.
people to come in and enjoy. And again, it's just to have that connectivity to be like, okay, like we're gonna have fun, we're gonna do this. Like, so I really enjoy that vibe. The next one we do because we just got into October, so we haven't had our planning session. This has been our when it rains, it pours season. We've had unfortunately members of staff either have surgery recently or get into car accidents or
Jeez.
take on new
Holy
things
shit.
at work. So it's like
Yeah.
we just haven't had like a planning session.
It's
Um,
this has been the most
but
chaotic year ever for obvious
yes,
reasons, and it's like
yeah,
everything is all over the place. The alignments are all out of whack. The actual federal government is all out of whack. Like it's
yeah.
fucked up.
Retrograde has been
It's like
retrogame,
mega, yeah,
it's like
mega
mega,
retrograde.
yeah. Like it's just been so retrograde. I feel like I haven't really stopped being in retrograde.
Yeah, it's have you seen the Masters of the Universe remake on Netflix? The remake and remaster. It's like Skeletor has the sword now, and he doesn't want to give it up. But we're on
Yeah,
the journey to try and get it back.
that's kind of what it feels like this year. And it's like even going online, like every time I go online, there's something going on. It's to the point where people are like, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? And it's like I'm catching, I feel like 30% of everything.
Yeah.
Because honestly, because I stay busy. I have 2 different jobs. I'm doing org things, I'm
Hmm.
doing convention things, and all of those things wrapped up together. If you catch me on a good time where you're like, hey, are you free? It's like, maybe not really, but I'll make time for you.
Yeah. And I appreciate you making time for us on our little channel. I do appreciate it. So thank you for sharing your time with us. I did because you 2 jobs on top of everything that we were talking about that you do. Like, girl, it's literally that's
Yeah, girl.
I don't even know how to describe that. It is wild. Like I can barely manage a remote job. Like one 40-hour remote job, never mind 2, and then all of this other stuff. So that's off to you. That is absolutely incredible. You deserve all the
Yes,
praise
like
for that.
every time I do something, whether it's like I do it on like the website, or like I get something, done with the org, or I get something arranged, recorded, like I feel so happy because I'm like, yes, I'm able to do this thing
Yeah.
that I care about as well. But then, like the real life things come up of like, still have to support yourself, still
Yep.
have to make sure
Self-care.
you're upkept, and like, have the fur
Gotta do treat
babies.
yourself Tuesdays. Like in
Yeah,
Parks
like
and Rec.
seriously,
Fine
like
leather
this is,
goods.
like, and
Spas.
the thing is, more and more people are going to relate to the fact that it's like, all of the amenities that you want to have, that con you want to go to, that rave you want to dance at, that kickback you want to sling one
Yep.
back and
We touch
take a
grass
drink.
raves.
Yeah, like no, seriously, like you think of those things, and then like you have to go back to the reality.
Yeah, I missed the last one with Zelda. They came back to they did another one in Boston. Because the first one that I went to was the Anime Boston rave, and I think Zelda, you had been the year before to the We Touch Grass rave. I hate reality. Yeah,
Yeah,
same,
no,
same.
hating reality is so real, because like you just want to live in those moments in time when you're just like
Yep.
actually fascinated and interested in life, because you're just doing something that you don't get to do every day. Like I felt like Cinderella at PAX East this year because I only had one day there,
Yeah.
one night, and then I feel like I turned back into a pumpkin after that
Holy
Saturday.
shit,
Like
Zelda.
it was, I literally was like,
Yeah.
I literally no, like Zelda will tell you all the shots that could be taken, I took,
It was
because
fun. It was fun. It was great. You were a great
I
time. It was a great
no,
after party.
I literally forced Zeldin into meeting a celebrity.
Who did you meet?
So we were in the catwalk, where you could see
Was
like
this at the
all.
industry mixer in
It,
the
it,
hotel lobby?
no, this was at PAX East. Like
Or in the actual
this was
convention? Okay.
before. Yeah, so we were in the catwalk doing like, little reels and shorts and like short form content, and she's
Sure, sure,
like,
sure.
"Wait a second. That's Cleo Thomas."
Okay.
And I was like, wait, where? And like I start counting the partitions. Like I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm like, so he's behind this one. So we get down and we get on the floor, and I go to that partition and I go and I'm like, hey, are you Cleo Thomas? And like he turns around. I'm pretty sure he was talking to his little brother. He was like, yeah. And I was like, can we take a picture? And he was like, yeah. And so he comes out, and Zeldin is like, I want to say like 3 yards ahead. So I'm like, Zeldin, over here. And she like turns around and her jaw is like, and she stays stuck for like 2 minutes. And I'm like, Zeldin, move your ass. He's out here. And like the security guard had already like went in front of me, like, you can't be back here. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So she starts, she's like, are you serious? Like her legs were moving like quicksand. And I'm like, Zeldin, if you don't come over. And so
You gotta be bold sometimes.
exactly.
Seize
So
the opportunity.
we took our little picture, and like mind you, because he was like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing like I'm supposed to be giving away a prize right now.
It's really
And I was
funny.
like, oh, well, I'm doing this con, and do you want to like exchange? And like he just was like, yeah, let me get your phone, and he put his number in my phone.
Oh shit.
And his email, and it was,
I've done that
and
with
then
like random content creators, but not anyone that would have like, sort of like cinema recognition, you know what I mean? Like that. That's wild.
right. So when he finally goes, like we took a few pictures with him. So he finally goes, and Zeldin was like, "Did that happen? Is this real?
Yeah.
Like, who do you mean?" And I was like, "You should have done the mini mart with him." And she was like, "Oh my god!"
So what is the mini mart? I'm out of the loop on so many things.
So this is a dance that Zeldin
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it might. Is
like
that
almost
the
every year. It's like,
is that this one? Yeah. Okay, I didn't know it.
and like she was
Yep.
she was like, Emmy,
Malo Mart dance.
she was like, you just went up and had Cleo Thomas like take a picture with us. And she was like, I could go up to anyone and just ask them for
So
things.
much regret.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. And she was like, I've been coming here for 8 years, and you've been here 1 day, and you just like, listen.
Well, that's kind of similar how that's how we met Ginny D at PAX Unplugged last year. But granted, it was the mixer, it was the PAX Unplugged like industry party creator party in the hotel, and she was there with her fiance, I think. And I was very intoxicated, but I was confident because I had my armor on, and like I had this hair, like this makeup, and I had my armor on, and like I looked pretty fucking good, right? And like there were other influencers there. Oh yeah, Maisie Lynn, just at Maisie Lynn.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah. I think I know who that is.
Yeah. And I didn't even know. I'm sorry, Maisie. I did not know who you were until after we had met that night. But then also Ginny D was there, and I was really drunk, and I just came over and like just slid a chair over, and I was like, Ginny fucking D. I was like, I had no follow up for that. We've been having a good time, and I just we just had a quick conversation very briefly, and I was like, well, me and my partner's my partner. She introduced me to her husband, or fiance, who was there. That was cool as well. And I introduced her to my partner, and our friend. I think I introduced her to Garnet as well, who is one of our admins. Is sort of now at an advisor. I think sort of a technical and administrative advisor officially, and also our videographer for when we do go to PAX Unplugged. But I think this year, we're taking a break from Unplugged. But unfortunately, I think Unplugged will be a miss for us this year. We weren't 100% on it. But yes, Ginny D is an amazing cosplayer. So shout out to both Maisie Lynn and to Ginny D. Y'all were amazing. Thank you for talking to us, hanging out with us, and making new friends at conventions. Y'all were great. It was a great time. I'm looking forward to PAX East as well, and 2026 PAX Unplugged when we finally get back there. But yeah, little stories like that. And I had another one sort of like in you, but I lost my train of thought because the ADHD is oh, Garnet and I mentioned Garnet, one of our admins with the new sort of fluid title, right? Woman of many titles.
Okay.
As our new advisor. We had done an interview with Rob Barefoot, who is the media guru or the media liaison for our Talsorian, which is the Cyberpunk developers. And how familiar are you with Cyberpunk?
I'm familiar with it.
Okay. So we were doing an interview with Rob, and the man, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mike Pondsmith, was obviously a big part of that, and he was there at the booth. He kind of wandered into the shot and did like a little surprise cameo. And we had asked Rob on Sunday when it was sort of quieting down. We're like, hey, can we get like a photo with Mike? And he's like, let me see what I can do. So Garnet and I were able to get a photo, and this man, I gotta say, like, this is the coolest man I've ever met in my entire life. Because I'm gonna tell you a quick story about what happened. When we came over for the photo, he recognized us from like the day before. He's like, oh, hey, welcome back. And we're like, hey, we just want to get a quick photo if that's okay. He's like, yeah. So as we're setting up, he says, ladies, I only have one question. And he put his sunglasses on and he said, where's Johnny? And I was like, I know where he is. He's in our hearts. And he was like, and he goes, that's one way to look at it. And he says, ladies, show me your mean faces. And I was like, this guy is so cool. I've never met someone who just oozes and drips. Yeah, so much cool aura. And the drip was like, it was absolutely a wild experience, because you're right, the aura farming, you could just the radiating aura, he's got it.
I love that.
So that was pretty cool. But back to you. I want to just briefly touch on back to you, Emmy. No, but we talked about women's groups, and we're gonna keep this positive for sure, because I've done a lot of thinking about this, and I want to say that we've both had experiences with women's groups. We've had negative and positive experiences with women's groups. My experience with your group has been only positive. And we mentioned another really interesting group that people have hot takes on that I have had only positive experiences on. But rather than touch on the negative of these other groups we've experienced, I want to ask you, what, in your opinion, as the leader of one of the leaders of one, the co-founders of one, what makes a good women's group, or a good group for women and non-binary individuals, or whatever your niche is, whatever, as we talked about the other day, whatever class you're serving, what makes a good group?
A clearly defined space that is safe, and also make sure that its members are aligned.
And as I have learned, short and sweet, because I just want to give a shout out real quick to, first and foremost, of course, Quantum Queers, who is, it's a queer group for the Fallout community. But obviously I've got my Nuka-Cola t-shirt on, right? And I have to shout out the Quantum Queers, which is an all-inclusive queer space. Amazing. If you're looking for an all-inclusive queer space, definitely check that out. But as far as a women's org, Women of the Wasteland. And I know I've heard a lot of mixed, people have had a lot of mixed experiences. I have been fortunate enough to have only positive experiences. And yes, for Women of the Wasteland, and I checked before we had this, and it's all positive, so I want to mention them specifically. When I looked at the rules, the up-to-date rules, it said, to be in this group, you must be a woman, or you must identify as a woman. If you do not identify as a woman, we would love to have you in our sibling group. And there was a link to the other group. And then there was a note that was respect all women and people who identify as women a second time. And that was the end of the rules. There's, I think, a little bylaw about trying to keep the space free of political discourse. But the fact that they protect and acknowledge trans women as well, or folks identify as non-binary women, however they identify, as a woman, you are welcome there. And even if you're not, here's a link to the other group, the sibling group. And it was like this big. The rules was like this big. And that was it. And I was like, that is, I feel like pretty close to what you were saying. And my experiences have been mostly positive. Now, granted, if you do a little bit of sleuthing and you start clicking on people's Facebook profiles, you'll see that there can be some issues there, but they do a really good job of keeping their space safe, and keeping the women in that space as safe as they possibly can with such a massive group. Also, Frozen Knight, hello, welcome in. And yeah, follow. I do appreciate both groups immensely. Of course, shout out to both Quantum Queers and Women of the Wasteland. But I do want to acknowledge that again, because of that, there are also other groups. But if you're looking for something more queer, I definitely want to shout out Quantum Queers. So go check them out as well.
Nice.
Yeah, but that I think is a pretty good example, and you said it pretty perfectly as well. And keeping things positive and also being mindful of time, that's a great little bow to put on that. It was short and sweet. Let's talk about VillainSCon and villains.
Okay.
Okay. So, what is VillainSCon? Do your elevator pitch, your elevator speech. Give us the basics. Tell me about VillainSCon.
Oh my goodness. Villain, and also, do you mind putting it on the screen?
Absolutely.
While I talk about it.
Yes.
I'm so proud of this little. I'm so proud of it. Because people are like, oh man, this looks clean. I'm like, yes.
It does. It looks very sharp.
VillainSCon. VillainSCon is a pop culture convention happening in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So whether you're a fan of cosplay, meeting special guests, going to panels, doing gaming tournaments, meeting up with your friends, getting novelty items, we're going to have all of that. It's an all ages event. And I'm honestly just really exciting. I'm really excited, to be putting on something like that.
It's a big undertaking, and I know you have been through hell and high water to get it, to keep it going and to get it where it is. And the work that you have done that we talked about for like over an hour yesterday it's wild. It's insane how much work and blood, sweat, and tears you put into this. But I mean, any convention is going to be a lot of work, and just hearing it firsthand on such a personal level from you, like, it's there. So tell us a little bit about like that experience with, and you can sort of prune it and trim it, and the Reader's Digest version, but some of the things you've had to overcome to get this where it is, some of the troubles you've dealt with, and how you've overcome that.
Oh my goodness. It's been a road. Today I got the email that said we had our business license for this event, and I almost fell to my knees because the city of Rock Hill has given me such a hard time to make this even happen. So the fact that it's happening is just exciting. Like, I love it. The biggest thing or obstacle that I've been through with this is just educating people on what this is.
Yeah.
People know what a Comic-Con is, so they're like, it's just a Comic-Con, and it's like, I don't necessarily think of it that way, because when you go to a Comic-Con, and I'm not talking like San Diego Comic, that one is obviously
right
your mega con, but like when you go to just a regular down home Comic-Con, it's really a comic vendor marketplace. And there may be you may be lucky if you see a cosplay contest. You're probably not going to see any gaming. You're probably not going to see many panels or programming. And I mean, that's what it is. It's a vendor marketplace. I did not want a vendor marketplace. I wanted something that was going to be engaging and interactive and fun, but even in celebrating media, there's so many different types of media out there, and I couldn't be more proud of the fact that, there are different people, from authors to collectors to artists that are like coming together and saying like, okay, I want to be a part of this thing
Yeah.
and see what this thing is about. And the name VillainSCon was very purposeful. Um, there's Heroes Con, and that takes place in North Carolina, but this is VillainSCon, so it's taking place in South Carolina.
Okay.
And so I wanted to like have fun with the idea, and it's gonna be a little bit edgy, but it's an all ages event. It's going to be a great time. I've been working on music performances that are gonna happen, and I feel like we're cooking. So I'm like really excited that in the next week or so we're gonna be releasing all of those things that are happening. I just put on the website the all of the influencers and cosplayers and guests that are going to be coming
Let's
out.
take a look.
So if you click on
Here we go.
guests,
Okay.
I just updated that tonight. Like I said, every time I do an update, I am like so proud of myself, really. I'm so proud. I'm like, oh my god, I did it.
The new frames look amazing. So I see villain support and also Jenna say what on the
Yes,
first
so it's a
page.
carousel. So if
Hmm.
you click on the arrow
Oh
on
my
either
gosh.
side,
Oh, I love
yeah.
this. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, I am genuinely impressed by it. This is great. And then we've also got
Yes.
Taylor Green Shine and Rave Knight.
Yeah, so Taylor's actually a model out in Tennessee, and she heard
Amazing.
about year one, and she was like, I'm gonna come out for this year, and I'm going. So all of the influencers on the site, I personally
Hmm.
spoke to them myself. They
That's
all told
awesome.
me like how they want to be represented, what they want to do, what they want to see, what they consider to have um to be fun at events like this. So all of that feedback was taken in, and
It's the
it's
most
going to
important thing
be
you can
on
do.
display. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're going to do something for the community, you need to be talking to the community.
Yep.
And so that's been an undertaking I've personally done, because I wanted to be sure that this year, I can't control everything, but the things that I do have control on, I wanted to make sure that I took control of that. So all of them have been awesome. Talking to Rave is very like behind the curtain, because you don't see them anywhere on their socials. So just
Yep.
just seeing Rave was kind of amazing, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm really excited. Come and do the show." And it was really awesome. Like there's definitely some more. We've had some from last year come back and want to do the show. And so it's just really exciting. But the carousel goes on for a little bit, and those are just the ones that are confirmed. I'm probably going to end up adding later
Yeah.
as time goes on, but
Obvious
I'm really
Disaster and White
excited.
Cheddar.
Yes, Obvious Disaster was here year 1.
Okay.
And we were the first con that she was ever a guest at. So she was like, "Oh my gosh, like gonna do it again." And she's one of my gaming goddesses as well. Love
Really?
Avi.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, so she's going to be actually taking point at the Renaissance Fair this coming weekend for the Athena Alliance CLT.
Yep.
But she's also going to be leading a D&D campaign at VillainSCon.
Ooh, okay.
And this is an improvement from what she did last year. So I'm really excited to see that. White Cheddar, just always so supportive, to be honest
Yep.
with you.
That's all
um
anyone can ask for.
yeah, and also his girlfriend is going to be coming out as well, so she should be the next
Okay.
tile. Chocolate Cherie Delight. Yeah, she's exactly the same way, like incredibly supportive, just very out in front. Rain the
And
Legacy.
yep.
Oh my god, I love first of
Reign the
all,
Legacy.
love him. He is the admin
Great cosplays, by the
for.
way. Real quick, can we
Oh
just talk
yeah.
about Sexy Pyramid Head?
Oh yeah, I
Time out.
love her
Full stop.
pyramid head. I love it. I'm like, ah. She like literally she kills every cosplay she does, but when she pulled
Yeah.
out that pyramid head, I was like,
Oof.
That's it.
Like I said before the
That's
stream,
it.
listen, I am gay as fuck. You can't be doing this to me. I will
And like people
absolutely.
were
That's
trying to
how I
say they
die in
were
a horror movie.
scared. People were trying to say they were scared, and I'm like, it's mostly women on the site.
Yeah.
Like there's men, but there's like few. It's like mostly
I would not survive Sexy Pyramid Head. Like Sexy Pyramid Head would walk up with intent to kill, and I'd be like, "What's up?"
and the thing is, she put out a reel, and it was like as Pyramid Head, and she was stomping her
Ooh.
boot into the camera lens. So the perspective, just the perspective. I had to watch it a few times. I was like,
Help!
oh.
I'm panicking. The gay panic.
I was like, oh, like that perspective was wild. I was like, oh, and you just see like the the heel of the boot. I was like, oh.
I need to get I need to get a second or third camera set up here so I can have different angles for my reactions. Yeah, that's... We also
Reigns
have
also.
let me back up to
He's
to
working
Rain.
on his. Yeah, he's working on his nonprofit.
Okay,
He's actually the admin for a Facebook group called 50 Shades of Black Anime.
Awesome. Okay.
And he does local events as well. I was just at his cosplay cookout a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, you should come out to VillainSCon, and then he reached out after, and so it's just been really nice to see that outreach, from the community. Like Raven the Beginning, they actually so I actually live very close to a liberal arts university.
Okay, hell yeah.
And they go there, and they were like, yeah, I found out about the show, and can I participate and be a part of it? I'm like, yeah, you absolutely could. Again, I love that people are like finding the show and like really, feeling like they're finding their niche. Probably from like a number perspective, Villain Support probably has the most amount of followers.
Yeah.
He's what you would call a macro influencer, and he was like, I thought I was going to do a villains convention. And then he was like, I found your show. Like, the thing is, out of everyone there, he's the most like chill. Like he's the most chill. Like, no cosplay. That's just him.
Insight check on the most chill. Thank you. And also, hello, Coldrake. Yeah, actually, Coldrake had a funny comment. Liberal arts, don't tell the press or the admin.
Right. No, seriously.
Crazy out there. Yeah.
And it's funny because I like messaged the university, and I was like, hey, would anyone want to cover it? And they were like, oh. And then like a couple weeks later, they were like, well, actually, we have like 2 reporters and a photographer, and they want to come and do villains. I'm like, okay, I feel like that was a delayed reaction, but okay.
Yeah. And also, I'm loving the vibe here on the card you chose for Inari Shrine Cafe, like the witchy vibe. Hello, like.
Oh, that was what all of these pictures they submitted.
That's
so
amazing.
That was the vibe they wanted to give off. So, Inari Shrine Cafe, and actually, oh no, does the link not work? I have to fix it. I was rushing, so
that's all right. There isn't.
But the vibe that they get, their brand is essentially
some of them
I know
work.
what I
some
did
of them
wrong.
work, some of them don't. But
I think I know what I did wrong. So I'll go in and fix it.
You're doing I think most of this by yourself, right?
I did the whole site.
Yeah, so you're doing the whole site by yourself. It's a lot. Yeah. It's a big undertaking. Make sure to give yourself some grace.
Give myself grace. I will, because I was like, dang, I messed that up. But you know what? You're right. I do need to be better about giving myself grace because, like, I know it is a lot. But I think my whole thing is that I wanted to make sure that I had them represented in a way that they would feel like, okay, I feel important to this. I feel part of this process. So Inari Shrine Cafe is actually going to be providing a manga library for the convention.
Oh
They're going to
wow,
have their
okay.
own chill room. And if you want to go in and just read manga and, have like a low sensory space to kind of hang out in while you're enjoying the con, that's what they're going to be providing. So each of the influencers, I asked them like what they wanted to provide or what they wanted to see. And that was the important thing. So along with their representation, next is the programming, which I'm super excited to be putting together next week.
Yeah, yeah. I also want to shout out Corey Wilder, and I don't know if Joe Armini.
Oh, Joe Arminix. Yes. So
Arminix, yeah.
if you click on her picture, her links work. All of
Okay.
those links work because they've been on the site for a while.
Yeah.
But she was
Cool.
actually one of the antagonists for Red Dead Redemption 2. And she
Oh,
was also
okay, yeah, yeah.
been in Pokemon. And then if you're like really niche, she was in Boardwalk Empire, and
Oh
she's
shit!
been in
Yeah.
various,
Okay.
yeah,
I
she's
just
been in
started
like
watching that.
various shows.
It's like, why does she
Yes.
look familiar?
So she's like literally, she lives 5 minutes away from the venue.
Really? No
Like
kidding.
really. And she heard about the show and she was
That's
like,
convenient.
I wanna, yeah, she was like, I
Yeah,
wanna do the
she can just
show.
walk there.
Yeah, she was like, I wanna do the show. Like, I wanna be with like my friend Steven, and like, whatever needs to happen, I wanna be a part of this.
Steve
And I was
Palmer.
like, okay,
Yep.
yeah. So honestly, he's probably been like the biggest like rock star for me personally,
Yeah.
because he reached out on Instagram and was like, I love the look of the show, I love the vibe, reach out to
Yeah.
me. And I was like nervous because I was like, what if he sees me and is like, you do not look like someone who's supposed to be putting on VillainSCon. So but he was like serious. He sent a video of himself, like, and he was very earnest.
Yeah.
And so I did the same back, and he was like, oh my god, like, I love it, and you seem really cool. And he was like, I want you to understand, I'm a theater kid that was in USC Aiken, and Rock Hill was one of my stomping grounds. So
Yeah.
I just want to come back. I just want to come and do this show and have my professor see me doing a show. And he actually produced a movie called Lulu and the Electric Dreamboat. And it is about a member of the LGBT community feeling excluded out of society. And he was like, I want to be represented as a producer, as a
Yeah.
voice actor, and I was like,
I'm gonna
okay,
put
like,
what's this
we
called again? I'm
totally
gonna
do
pull it up
that.
and post it in the chat. Also, hi Poppy.
Hi. Oh my gosh. So if you click on his page,
Yep.
I actually have like the graphic there, but it's called Lulu and the Electric
Oh
Dreamboat.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up.
And when he told me he did it, and he was like, I just really wanted, to do like different projects, like, and he was like, just producing this meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the type of counterculture that I want to see represented,
Yeah.
here at VillainSCon.
Yeah.
Like,
And also don't feel that like, oh, that what you said before about being the right person to run the VillainSCon, because a little bit about Junji Ito. To my understanding, Junji Ito was like the quietest, calmest, sort of like silly, very
he
like
still
friendly
is.
and bubbly
He
guy.
still is.
And is like, you know what I mean? So like people who have these personalities who might, you might think is contrary to horror. You might picture this edgy goth girl in your mind, but like, no, it's like people who do the best events and who write the best stories for horror are completely unassuming. So like, don't worry about any of that, girl. I'm sure you're totally fine. Just think of Junji Ito being like, hi, thank you so much.
you bring up like such a good point
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I was like, he's not gonna take me seriously, and then
No,
he
no,
was
no,
like,
no, no, no.
no, like he's like, you're on the level, like, you
Yeah,
know, I
you've got
want
the
to do this
vibes.
show,
You've got the
and
aura.
yeah, no, seriously, it was like he's very like humble and professional, and so I was like, this is what I want to I want to showcase this. And he was like, did you know I can't do any shows in the Southeast USA? And I was like a guest at shows, and he said that's right. And it's because most of the bigger
Mm,
shows are locked in with agencies.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
they don't take people outside of those agencies. And I didn't know
Right.
that. I was like, oh my God, there are convention wars, but there actually kind of
Yeah.
are.
Yep.
I tagged a lot of the VillainSCon flyers at SC HorrorCon, and the promoter for SC HorrorCon was like, he found out that the photo booth that was at his con was coming to VillainSCon, and so he was like, tell her I want a conversation. And
What?
and he's a like a northern East Coast guy. He's from Boston,
Yeah, okay.
actually. And so he was like, so you tagged my con, and I was like, well, there's just a lot of intersection, and I'm sorry. I did apologize. So he was like, well, that's the type of thing I could get you arrested for. And I'm just
What?
thinking, psh, I've been arrested many times. But
He
then I
said
was
that to
like,
you?
he did
Was
say
he
that to
joking?
me, but then no, he was not joking. But he
What the
did follow
fuck?
up with no. He followed up with, how can I help you?
Okay. All right. Way to bury the lead.
No, because I think
Like,
what it was he had to have enough menace. I get it. He had to have enough menace that it's like,
sure.
don't mess with me again. But
Menacing,
at the
yeah.
same time, he was like, okay, now you have my attention.
Okay.
And so, so we had a conversation.
Yeah.
It was fine. I really wasn't like upset or anything, because he was like, so who do you have working with you?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, me. And then
And
I
me.
paused.
Me and
Yeah,
me.
and then he was like, that's it. And I was like, well, I have, someone helping me on socials. I have someone helping me with
Sure,
the
sure, sure.
hotel blocks and everything. But other than that, like the big bulk of it is me.
Yeah.
And
Chat
so,
going wild right now about this.
right, because they're like, wait a second, like, what?
Yeah.
And
So menacing.
so, yeah, it literally menace. And
Yeah.
so I just was like, okay, like, this is a thing. This
Yeah.
is what happened. And like I said, I kind of took this in stride. I was halfway delirious anyways. By the time I like had this conversation with him. So he's asking me a million questions a minute. He was like, okay, and how many guests do you have? And
Mhm.
how many vendors did you get? And what did you charge each vendor? And oh, Lou Temple, I bet he charged you $3,000. Wait, he didn't charge you that much? Okay. And like literally, and I'm just like, ha ha ha. And
Tee Oh shit. That's fucking
and
wild.
he was just like, I have so many, I have so many questions. And he was like, why would you do this on Halloween? He's like, I'm the Halloween guy in my neighborhood, so I can't come out on Halloween. But he was like, I probably could come out on the Saturday. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, Jay. Um, and he was telling me he had like $100,000 budget on like his marketing flyers and stuff like that, and he
That's
drew
a
his
lot of
own
money.
site
Yeah.
plans. And And I was just like, again, like I'm still kind of halfway delirious, but like all in all, he really built SC HorrorCon from like the ground up. Like his daughter runs the kid portion of the convention called
Mm-hmm.
Children of the Con.
I'm sorry. That sent me. That one got me.
No, that's what it's called. That's what it's called. And like no, like for real, it's
Holy
like
shit.
it's not it's I just was like, I need to get the word
Appreciate
out
a good
about this.
pun.
And like
Yeah.
what's the most egregious, outlandish way of doing that? And I did it.
Mm-hmm.
It was me and
Yeah.
my partner, and we went out in that pod, and we just made it happen. And then we went to lunch and went home.
Sometimes, like we talked about before, sometimes you just gotta like throw stuff out there and take the risk and see what happens. And it's been paying off for you. You must have a high. Speaking of Fallout, you gotta have a high luck stat.
Oh yeah,
Been min maxing.
I definitely did. And then like that evening, we went out to like a board game event, and
Yeah.
I beat my boyfriend by like 1 point in this
Luck and
game we
charisma.
played.
And charisma. You've maxed out luck
And
and charisma
I
together.
maxed.
You're
Listen, like
dangerous.
the max,
Yep.
okay. And Drake's God's Plan came on the speaker, and it was so funny.
The cosmic providence happening around your convention is absolutely wild.
It's been insane. Oh my god, I have to bring up Pobby's comment. They would be the babies of the con. That's funny. I kind of love that. I'm like, wait a second, baby cooking there. I seriously, the show could not happen without the vendors. Yes, so like if you scroll down, it's I like honestly for year 2, we went from 10 vendors the first year to like what we have now. So excited. And it's not even queer coded. There are a lot of queer. They're queer.
We
They're
love to see
here.
it. We love to see it.
I'm excited about Alicia the Bard. I'm
Yep.
excited about Noah Bodie. I'm excited about the Lowry. I'm so excited. There's even a doctor that makes her own scents, and she's going to make specific villainous ones for the event. I'm beyond excited, beyond like proud, to see this come
Yeah,
together.
this
You
is
know what I'm saying?
incredible.
A lot of authors. We had a woman from like Appalachia, and she was like, I'm trying to come do this show. And I was like, ma'am, you didn't put your email on the vendor list. So that's why we couldn't reach out to you. She's like, well, this is my email. And put me down for the show. I've left a space in my calendar. And I was like, oh my goodness. And
Did you get her
so
in?
yeah, she's
Okay,
she's
hell
in
yeah.
there. She's in there. We have different like comic book vendors. We have again different authors, and even with like the comic book vendors, there's a woman that makes her own graphic novels in like a manga like art style. And she has her own comic book publishing company, and she's coming. Like I kind of love the fact that this show has attracted someone like that, because when I've been to different shows, if I saw a comic vendor, it was always a guy. I never really saw a lot of like women vending their own published works. And so like I'm really excited. Horror scene was so sweet. They're not even from here. They're from Pennsylvania. And they were like, "Yeah, we'll come to your show. We just asked to have a table." And I was like, "Really?" And like when you listen to their music is great. It's very Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah. Set up a little merch
And
table. That's really cool.
yeah, their name previously whew, was a name that they had to fix because it's a word you can't say or the algorithm will suppress you. So I won't say what that name is, but they were like, yeah, we changed it to horror scene and it's all good now. And I'm like, yes, Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Dan, the front man, I spoke to him personally. He was incredibly sweet about it. And, it's no problem. We're going to have like shirts, and they have like little like voodoo dolls that they make. It's actually kind of cute. And they were like, yeah, if you do a set, we'll get our guys and we'll just be out there. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly, I'm really, really excited. Doing another podcast this past weekend. We have a rap artist that's going to be out there.
So you're also doing the podcast circuit.
Yes.
And
Also
thank you for being here.
Circuit. Absolutely. Like this is definitely a pleasure. But even like some of the guests that we're gonna have, Tyrain, the Legacy, who's one of our influencers, he's gonna be doing a set. He may or may not be bringing out his big group, the Wave Syndicate. We're checking to see if that's going to be a thing. But Phase God just confirmed to me today he's going to be doing a set. I'm just, like I said, I'm so happy that all of these things are coming together, and there's a little bit of alt, and there's a little bit of urban, and there's a little bit of queer, and there's just a little bit for everyone, so it's like it's not just one crowd being catered to. It it's just like a little taste of these things that all make pop culture. I love that.
And it's right around the corner too. And I've got the media gallery up right now. It's just cycling through that, and you can see how much fun everyone is having. But
yeah, that was year one, and it wasn't like the biggest convention year one, but I'm still proud we were able to just do it.
Yeah.
Year
two seems like it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
And like to have everyone come out, and to have people say, okay, well, we were there for you for year one. We're gonna come back for year two. Like that to me is also like really exciting as well. And even though DreamHack, shout out to DreamHack, they're happening the same weekend, same days.
Okay.
So some of our influencers are like, well, DreamHack. And I'm like, you know what? That's totally fair. That's totally fair. But, for the people who can't go to DreamHack, if you can't afford it, if it's just a little bit too much, there's another option for you. And it's still going to be fun. There were people who came out last year and they were like, this is my first convention experience, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So, being known as a cozy con is kind of
one of my favorite cons coming up in October, a week before yours, is AAC, another anime con, and it's just a small cozy con. And used to be in New Hampshire, and now it's in sort of northern Mass, but it's one of our favorite cons. It's just like a big party, and it sounds like this is similar vibes, big party. So real quick, I just want to go through, while we still have a little bit of time, just go through power rankings for villains, because it's VillainSCon and it's coming up. So let's do different genres. Let's do different mediums, actually. So current, and I want to say current, not all time, but current favorite film villain, and then we'll do film, anime, gaming, etc. So current film villain, current favorite film villain.
Oh man, this is gonna be okay. I was reminded of this actually a couple days ago, and this is one that you're probably not gonna expect me to say, but stay with me here because there's real menace behind it.
Okay.
For film, I'm gonna say Hopper the grasshopper from A Bug's Life.
I've actually never seen A Bug's Life.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Not all the way through, at least.
First of all, a real life villain voiced him as Kevin Spacey.
Wait. Oh!
Second of all.
Okay, that has layers then!
Second of all, like, so quotable, just so menacing, and this is a children's film. I may go back tonight and watch it now that I'm, like, reminded, but yes, like, seriously, the menace. Yes, that raggedy grasshopper. Yes.
And hearing Kevin Spacey's voice on that makes it that much more creepy. because
Listen,
yeah, actual
Kevin
villain.
Spacey did his big one on that role. That
Yeah,
and Frank Underwood
just
with
play
House of
yourself,
Cards.
Kevin.
But yes, absolutely, like literally,
Yeah.
probably one of the ones that sticks out in my mind. Okay, next one,
Yep.
next one.
So by the way, we'll do both, and we'll see what the audience reaction is again for power rankings. So like for me, are you ready for mine?
I'm
Remick.
ready.
Remick. 100%.
That's a solid one. You know
Yeah.
what? Here's the thing. Remick is the villain. I don't know. I would just party with him. Like, what
Yeah.
is that? Like, I like.
So honestly, yeah, okay. So hold on, we're gonna get into some hot takes now. So like, so there's a reason he's my favorite. Like every time I mention him, like I hear Rocky Road to Dublin like echo in the background of my memory banks, right? Like I can hear it. And you're right, he had some really good points. He really did. And he was like, it's all fucked. It's all fucked. The whole country and the whole system is rigged against you. Fuck it, join me and we'll kill all of them. And I'm sitting there like watching this like for like the 8th time, and I'm like, well, you know, like maybe I might have wandered outside, just to get to join the collective, as it were.
I mean, at the end, I mean, Michael B. Jordan looked good in that cozy sweater, so
yeah,
it's kind of like,
yeah, yep.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I no, but for real, I did enjoy the performance from the actor who played Remick.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great
Perfection.
one. I think that's a great one.
Perfection. Okay, what about anime?
Ooh. Wait, hold on. There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many that are out there. See, here's the thing about anime. Because there's shonen and shoujo. So when people think of like where villains really primarily are, they're mostly in shonen. This is an OG
question.
one. This is an OG one. I'm gonna actually say Zabuza from Naruto.
Okay, all right. It's been a minute, so hold on.
From
Let me
that
just.
first arc. So he was the one that like.
Oh yeah.
He was the caretaker from like with like Haku and like yes, like when I really think of that arc, it gave Slade fighting Teen Titans, but like I feel like Zabuza was way more like menacing. Like obviously he didn't win. And he died from that interaction, but like I don't know, like kind of scary. Kind of scary.
I am going to give a spicy hot take right now.
Ooh, okay.
A spicy hot take on my favorite anime villain currently and of all time. Johann Liebert. I said what I said. I said what I said, and I stand by it because I have a spicy hot take on Johann Liebert, and I say I can fix her. I can fix my baby trans girl is okay. Now this goes on a tangent. The creator of Monster has said in his own words that Johann Liebert and the fact that the character is that's trans woman. I'm a trans woman. I'm looking at this character. I'm like, this is just a fucking trans woman. I feel like I'm crazy. And the author actually said in an interview, Johann and how Johann is presented is an embodiment. This is literally said. Johann's character in the way that they're presented is an embodiment of the inner feelings I have that I have had to suppress. And I'm like,
okay.
What the fuck is happening? Just transition.
Fair.
Baby girl, just transition and give Johann the proper love that she deserves. Hold on.
I mean, Johann, honestly, a lot of villains wouldn't be villains if they got laid.
Yeah.
Just
like hold on, wait. Baby girl, right here.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
I can fix her.
Not I can fix her.
Let me.
I'm screaming. I'm screaming. You
Okay,
said
okay,
I
yeah.
can fix her. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Okay, next one.
Yep.
Next one.
Video games. And I have another hot take for this one. But you first. I have mine locked and loaded.
All right. Okay. So this one is a hot take because depending on where you slide on that scale may or may not be, but just for the portrayal alone, the elusive man from Mass Effect franchise. And that portrayal alone.
That's a really good one. That is a really good choice.
Like, seriously. And the thing is, it's layered.
Yeah.
Because in Mass Effect 1, it's like, fuck Cerberus. And then Mass Effect 2, wait a second, hear me out.
Yep.
And then Mass Effect 3, and it's like, nah, fuck Cerberus. And so mind you, there, like I said, depending on where you fall on that scale, because you could even say dubiously, maybe not a villain, but still a villain.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that, I mean, and in 3, like, it gets a little comic book villainous.
Yeah.
But you were he was cooking with something in the sequel in Mass Effect 2. Yeah. He really was.
For sure.
And then like they tried to like go back to it in 3, but it didn't quite have the same magic, you know. But definitely made a good villain. Now here is my other spicy hot take, and I'm just gonna do the big reveal here. This bitch. Oh, it doesn't even. Hold on. It's not even fully. Give me a second. Let me move them up and down.
I'm crying. Oh my god.
My baby girl, my other baby girl, Xenosia Galvus from Final Fantasy XIV. My misunderstood like the worst kind of comic book evil for most of the game, but then like spoilers for Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. Okay, you've not Dawn Trail, sorry. For Endwalker, you've been warned. Your boy literally saves the fucking universe. Yeah. Yep. He saves the universe because he like I know. Like, it's a really hot take, but like, you are about to die. Like, that's it. The world is over. The universe is over, and you're like, that's it. I'm fucked. This is the end of the franchise. It was the end of the game. It was a good run. Maybe we're gonna do some spiritual shit, and your boy soars across time and space on an astral dragon to shatter the bonds of despair, and then criticizes you for being at death's door. And he's like, really? Yeah. You let despair of all things kick your ass?
Yeah.
And like, and then you have a Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriot style epic fight in like in the far edge of the universe at the edge of reality. And you do like a snake and ocelot fist fight where you practically almost kiss at the end. It's so perfect. Like whether or not you play a Masker Femme Warrior of Light, the sparks are there.
The sparks are there.
And it's like, seriously, like that would have been the end of everything if he didn't like if he wasn't so unhinged that he turned into a cosmic dragon summon and flew and shattered the fourth dimension to come and save you from the edge of defeat at the very end. Like, absolutely wild, mad lad, and that is my spicy hot take for my favorite gaming villain.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And
also, there's a lot of really funny memes, and I always refer to him as this bitch.
Oh my god, no.
But bringing it back to VillainSCon. I'm just gonna like move this down a little bit so we get a little bit more room here. Bringing it back to VillainSCon as we sort of fade out for the evening. So VillainSCon is, what are the dates and how can people buy tickets?
Okay, so you can find us online, villainsconrockhill.org, so .org. And then there's a tickets page, so you click on tickets, boom, you can buy tickets there. If you have a child that's 12 or under, they get in for free. But this is not a daycare, so adult needs to accompany them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a student, it's $5. So anyone between the ages of 13 to 18, and then once you're an adult, you pay the adult prices because you are an adult. Ha ha ha. But the adult prices are not expensive. Right now we have Friday only online for $13, Saturday only for 18, and then if you want to go ahead and buy days, it's $30. So pretty reasonable ticket wise. It's really just to kind of help the show. I'm like I said, I'm super excited. This is going to be happening on Halloween weekend, so we're starting on October 31st, Friday, and then going on forward to November 1st, which is Day of the Dead. So I'm like I said, this is just like I'm excited. Like this is going to be a fun show. And I hope that people really want to like come and be a part of it.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. And I am going to do everything I can to try and we should definitely connect and see if we can make something work next year. I'm definitely going to try to see if I can get out there. It overlaps with our local con, but I
Right.
want to see if I can manage, because this looks like so much fun. I would genuinely love to go to this with a little bit more planning on my end. This is amazing. I recommend this to everybody. Go and check this out. Get tickets if you're in South Carolina or anywhere adjacent and you're looking for something to do on that weekend. Go and support Emi. Go and support VillainSCon. Go and support the amazing creators and voice actors here. And in the meantime, where can everyone find you on the internet? You or VillainSCon or Athena Alliance. I know you're sort of like the trifecta, the triune. So go ahead and give us all three. You are the triune goddess. You are
Oh
the
my
3-in-1.
goodness. Not the 3-in-1. You're
Yeah,
probably right.
you are.
So to
You can't
find
deny
me,
your aura.
I'm not. I tried so hard. I farmed so hard for
Yeah.
this. So hard. No, I'm kidding. You can find me online, dEMonAngeLclone, even on fanfiction.net under that name. Definitely find me under that in most gaming, Instagram, like Facebook, even I believe as well. Athena Alliance, it's everywhere at Athena CLT. We are going to be rebranding and pushing to Athena CLT Plus because again, we are an NPO. We made it. So we haven't even really released the news on our major socials, so this is kind of an exclusive. But I'm really excited for what's to come up ahead. And then for VillainSCon Rock Hill is where you'll find like everything VillainSCon. We are number one in search if you type in VillainSCon.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's good. That's good.
that's my mini flex. But yeah, like check us out. I'm always a proponent with working with women and marginalized communities, and so if there's anything like that, that's probably where you'll find me hanging out in the back. I'm not a forefront person. This has been wonderful to be a guest on your podcast tonight. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you for being here. This was incredible. Stick around, everybody. Stick around. We're gonna have a little like a casual chat and banter while we go into the raid. But yes, all of the links for the Athena Alliance for, I think it's mostly, yeah, actually the links there are just the Athena Alliance. So we have VillainSCon. I'm gonna link that in the chat as well. I can also add that to your links as well. But we're
Yay.
gonna look for someone to raid, so stick around. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.